Hi everyone. Today I'm going to cover over 50 properties that you can buy for $1 down. So let's find out which one is right for you. But first, I just want to do a sound check. And once my team is in, we'll see if the sound is better this time around. I also wanted to quickly cover what I'm going to go over in this live stream. So I'm going to spend about 15 minutes covering, hello, how's the sound? Just one. All right, well. So I'm going to go over all the properties that we currently have available. Again, many of them you can buy for $1 down. And then if I have time, I'm going to go into a deep dive on our latest property. And finally, if anyone joins and has questions, I'll save about 10 minutes to cover them. But first, let me try and fix the sound. Is that better? Is that better, or should I increase it more? Yes? Good? Testing, testing. All right. Well, I'll continue in the meantime and check back in a second. All right. So as I mentioned, I'm going to start by covering all of our properties. Again, many of them can, too much. All right. How about, hi, Giselle. Hi, Melissa. Thank you for joining. It's good to see you, Giselle. Oh, okay. I turned it back down, Zephiel. Okay. I'll check back in on the sound level, but I'm just going to get into the properties for now. All right. So I see many of you already know who I am. But just in case there's anyone watching who's not familiar, my name's Erica. I run Gokce Capital. Our website is gokcecapital.com. And we buy and sell land. Hi, everyone. And the website's gokcecapital.com. To see all of our properties, click Buy Land at the top, and you will get a map with all of our available properties. And for every property that is not being sold by a realtor, which is a lot of them right now, we do offer owner financing. Many of those properties are at $1 down as well. So let's go over them and see if any of them work for you. Now, we have our map here, but below the map, we also have a table with a little bit of information on all the properties. The first one is a 2.6 acre lot in Oswego County, New York. That's up here. So it's northern New York, very close to Lake Ontario. It is a nice sized lot, 2 acres, and it actually borders a little creek. So that's a nice perk of this lot. It's close to the Oswego River as well, and it's in a little town called Volney. So it's a nice rural area for someone who wants kind of like a, out of the way retreat. Oops, zoomed in too much there. Okay. Our second lot is in West Virginia. We had a lot of people really interested in West Virginia. This one is though on hold at the moment until August 11th. So I'm not going to cover it, but if you're really interested in West Virginia land, you can check back in on the 11th and see if it's back on market. And if it is, I'll cover it in the live stream. All right, next lot is in Klamath County, Oregon, which is over here on the map. And Klamath County is a rural county in Oregon. The county seat is Klamath Falls, because you'll see here that about an hour away or so is the Upper Klamath Lake. It's a beautiful lake. There's a nice town, Klamath Falls, off of the lake. But this property is in a rural area, so kind of perfect for like a homestead, even off-grid. type lot. Klamath County is fairly popular with homesteaders. And there is the little town of Sprague River nearby for basic essentials. It's not in an HOA. And the zoning in this area is R2 residential, which allows mobile homes. All right, so let's see. And I do see a few questions, so I'll cover them quickly. Let's see. Here, when it's done, and you can hear how my microphone. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I'm going to keep adjusting the volume, so I'll get it perfect in the next few days. And yes, there's a question about realtors, so you'll see this as I go through the lots. We had been selling a lot of properties through realtors. We're actually switching back to selling most of them ourselves. So the bulk of the properties you'll see on our website are sold directly by us, which means that owner financing is available. And for those that are currently listed with a realtor, a lot of them will likely come back to us in the future. So yes, most of our properties moving forward will be selling ourselves. That means you can buy them directly on our website, or you can look into, we do offer owner financing, so you can talk to us about what terms work for you. I'll cover that in a little more detail later. But so the next lot is another New York property, Central New York, 1.4 acres, which is a good size for New York. Another rural lot. I really like rural New York. It's kind of bucolic. It does border a canal, and it's close to a small town as well. Well, reasonably small. Rome actually does have a lot of amenities in it. So this one is a little bit closer to town for someone who really wants those amenities. You can see this is a town that's big enough to have an airport. So this is an option for someone who wants a little more rural lot, but still very close to amenities. All right, the next one is 1.25 acres in Gilmer County, Georgia. Georgia was very popular for a while. We've sold most of our Georgia lots. This is one of the few remaining ones. And like I said, it's a little over an acre. Gilmer County, this is a rural area. You can see it's got kind of rolling hills, a lot of trees. So I'll note this is in, it's also very close to a state park. So a nice part of Georgia for anyone who likes the outdoors. It is in a POA, but the nice thing about this POA is they actually rescinded all of their building regulations. So they don't regulate construction, they're essentially just there to maintain the roads. So that's actually a really nice thing about this lot, is you get some of the benefits of being in a POA. That is, you have maintained roads, a little more maintenance in the area. But it doesn't come with all the restrictions you usually see with HOAs. All right, then we're getting into our North Carolina lots. We have a lot of North Carolina lots at the moment. North Carolina was really, really popular, still is. So we had a lot of interest in North Carolina. This one we have two actually in Burke County. And if you want to see all the North Carolina lots, you can see them on the map here. That's Cherokee, Henderson. And these are our two Burke County lots. So this is Western North Carolina, not too far from Charlotte. This one is in the mountains. You can see it's a nice mountain lot. It is in a POA, again, like with many of the POA lots, the main purpose of the POA is to maintain the roads. You see that a lot in rural areas. You can see the shots of the mountains here. So this is kind of a lot for anyone who wants a mountain retreat. And the other Burke County lot is a town lot. This one's not in an HOA. So you can see here. It's in the town of Rutherford College. It's a nice little kind of college town. So because this is a town lot, you can see it's a corner lot. Because this is a town lot, it does have all public utilities available. So that's a nice thing about this one. Yeah, just to comment on that the HOA turned into a POA. That was cool. Yep. I know a lot of people don't like HOAs. So that particular HOA in Gilmore County listened to the people and said, we are removing our restrictions. I'm sure we all wish most HOAs did that. All right, so then we have our Putnam lots coming up. We had a ton of Putnam lots for a while. We've sold a number of them, but we still have a few remaining. Putnam County, if you look on the map, is up here in north central Florida. It's a little bit outside of Jacksonville. It is kind of a central county, as I said, so you don't get the same kinds of flooding issues you sometimes get on the coast. This one is near Palaca, which is the county seat. Palaca is on the St. Johns River. You can see there are a lot of ponds and lakes nearby. So like Florida, like most of Florida, water resources are a big draw here. Let me turn on the satellite view. So you can see there's also a lot of wildlife management areas around. So you get kind of the like Florida rural charm in Putnam County. Now each of these are about 0.4 acres, so just under half an acre. And they're all in these more rural residential subdivisions. You can see people have built here, but it's still fairly spaced out, so you get the privacy, the nice rural character that a lot of people are looking for. And in Putnam County, you can build mobile homes according to our research, which is another big draw for anyone looking for an affordable entry into home ownership. I know that as homes get more expensive, a lot of people are looking for affordable lots to put mobile homes on because that's these days much less expensive than a traditional home. I see some questions. Yeah, about POAs and HOAs. Yeah. So just for reference, HOA stands for Homeowners Association. POA stands for Property Owners Association. I don't know if there's actually a full definition of when one becomes HOA versus POA, but generally we think of POAs as primarily road maintenance organizations. So unlike a full HOA, they usually don't have that many restrictions, if any. They're primarily there to collect minimal dues in order to maintain roads in the area because, as my colleague's saying, they're less restrictive. Because that's actually can be an issue, not always, but it can be an issue in rural areas. Some counties don't maintain every road in the area, or sometimes when a big subdivision is created, the agreement with the county is that the subdivision is going to maintain its own roads. They're not going to put the additional cost of maintaining those new roads on the county, so they create an organization to fund the maintenance of those roads. So in a POA, there's not that many restrictions, and the dues tend to be less because they're only to maintain the roads. HOAs are what we often think of when we think of homeowners associations. Those actually have the building restrictions. They're usually created because people want a certain kind of look in a neighborhood, and they don't want things like junkyards popping up, stuff like that. So it's for someone who's looking for a particular kind of character, you would say. All right. All right, so now we have a property in Lee County, Florida. Lee's a very popular county right now. A lot of people are building there. We see a lot of interest from builders in Lee County. And let me see, I think Lee County's down here just outside of Fort Myers. This is all Lehigh Acres. It's a huge subdivision. There's been a lot of development in here. You can see it's become very residential, but lots are still affordable in Lee County. That's why it's so popular. And this one, it's a good sized lot. It's another corner lot. A lot of people have built homes here. You can get a look at what it looks like, and it does back up against a canal. Right. And then we have a lot in Cherokee County. We have another Putnam County, and then we have a lot in Cherokee County, which is western North Carolina. This is another mountain lot. Let me zoom out. Cherokee County is over here. It's at the western edge. So for anyone looking for mountain land in North Carolina, that's here. The nice thing about this property is it does come with two kind of like little bonus lots. There are these little lots along Owl Creek. I don't think they show up here, but it's around in here. They're just very little lots where you can kind of set up like a table or chairs and be right on the creek. This one is also in I believe this is a POA, Stone Ridge Falls. They do have some light restrictions, but again, the POA is primarily here to maintain the roads. Okay. And then, as I mentioned, we had a number of lots in North Carolina that are currently listed with a realtor. Some of these are actually going to come back to for sale by owner in the next day or so. So I'll cover them in my next live stream, but if you're really into North Carolina land, you can keep your eye out for those. We do, though, have one lot for sale by owner in Bertie County. This is closer to the east. So as we're getting into the east, I kind of lose track of where all these lots are, so I'm not going to point that one out on the map. But this is on Tar Heel Road. If we zoom out, it's on the Albemarle Sound. It's kind of central east North Carolina. You see we're right off the Roanoke River. A nice rural lot. I believe there's no zoning on this one, if I'm remembering correctly. Yes, that's right, no zoning, no HOA, so this is an unrestricted lot. And according to our research, now I should have put this up as a big disclaimer earlier, but we do our own research on all the properties, but we always recommend you do your own research to confirm that you can do what you would like to do on any particular property. But according to our research, this is also a good RV lot. So this is a really nice lot. I like this one a lot. Unrestricted lots are always great. I know a lot of you are looking for mobile home lots or RV lots. So if that's you, check that one out. Then we have another North Carolina lot in Richmond County. This is actually a collection of 4 lots. So it's a big property, about 3.5 acres. It's very sizable for North Carolina. This is southern North Carolina on the other side of Charlotte from the Burke County lots we were looking at, just outside of Rockingham. Another rural lot, I believe this one is also no zoning. No, it's residential agricultural, which is a very flexible zoning designation. As the name would suggest, residential and agricultural uses are allowed. So if you wanted a little homestead, you can do that. It does have access via an easement. That easement is right here, just a note. So if you're interested in that lot, you can reach out to us and we can talk more about that. I think I had some text here, so let me look. That's a good point, Zaphael. You do always want to make sure that lots are, if there's a bonus lot, it's included in the deed. With those rec lots I was talking about off of Owl Creek, they are referenced in the deed. But yep, that is a good point. Okay. We have another Florida lot here. This one's almost 1/2 acre in Pasco County. Pasco County is right here, closer to Tampa. And Like a lot of our Florida, in Florida, we like to target, well, we generally like to target rural lots. So this is a nice rural lot, but again, a lot of building has been going on in the area. Not too far from very built-up areas. Port Richey is the nearest bigger town. Let me refresh my memory on the zoning here. It is agricultural residential. I'm trying to remember. Well, there's no HOA, no deed restrictions, and because it's agricultural residential, that does mean agricultural uses are allowed. Again, always confirm with the county, but looking to do kind of more like homestead or grow some food, that should be allowed. You can see some people are doing what look like sort of little homesteads here in the area. Okay. We covered all of this. Pasco. So then we're getting into more North Carolina lots. We have Warren County. And this is a whole acre, 1 acre. It is off of Lake Gaston, which is part of the Roanoke River, but it's a reservoir that was created, I believe, by the Army Corps of Engineers, but I could be wrong on that. Very close to the water here. And you can see the images. This one has no HOA as well. And I believe we do have a completed perk test on this one as well, so you know that it's ready for septic. I just want to see. And we have another North Carolina property in Northampton County. This is 0.75 acres. This is a nice little rural lot. You can see what looks like a fair amount of agriculture in this area. And the zoning on this one, some of these need to look into more, but it's a decent sized, nice little rural lot in kind of an agricultural community. Then we have Wilson County. So this is a corner lot off of NC 581 highway. You can see the images here. This is another no HOA property and agricultural residential zoning again. So flexible zoning, this is another one where we already did a perk test, so you know that the soils are suitable for a septic system. And site-built homes and manufactured homes and modular homes are all allowed, no HOA. So a good flexible zoning designation, a lot of options. We have another Putnam County lot, and then we have this collection of 4 adjacent Luna lots, Luna County, New Mexico. Each of these are half an acre. We've listed them separately, but theoretically you could buy them all. They're all adjacent. That would be 2 acres if you bought them all together. Luna County, if we zoom out, is in southern New Mexico. These are very affordable little lots. The price is only $1,797, so it's a good entry point into land ownership. We do offer owner financing. As I've mentioned before, these are $1 down owner financing lots. And then we have a lot in El Paso County, Texas. I know Texas is another popular state for many people. This is half an acre. It's an interesting lot because it's technically zoned commercial. So this would be a good, I think a lot of people buy here to hold, but you could also do theoretically business, although this is fairly rural. It could also be a base for outdoor adventures. There are a lot of state parks nearby and no HOA as well. It's very rural, so I doubt the county building department is coming around out here very often. And the great thing is the annual taxes are basically nothing. So it's a good, cheap property to hold on to. And then we do have a property in Valencia County, New Mexico, which is one of our favorite counties. We have bought and sold a lot of properties out here. This is a county just south of Albuquerque in New Mexico, right near the Manzano Mountains. We actually went out and visited Valencia County, and I personally was surprised at just how beautiful the area was. Very like flat, kind of pristine desert area with beautiful views of the mountains. And this one is not in an HOA, so very few restrictions. People like these lots for just holding on to because they're very affordable, under $10,000, or for kind of recreation. Some people even build homesteads out here, as you can see. All right. So then let me check if there are any, wow, that, I've actually went half an hour. Oh, and my colleague, just going back to El Paso, saying, I thought people use it to park our RVs and stuff because of no zoning. I do think a lot of people park RVs out here. Should look into whether that's technically allowed, but like I said, I don't think the county's really monitoring these areas very, very often. So people make all kinds of creative uses with those lots. So I will quickly cover our Valencia County property just because I really like Valencia County. So like I said, some people like these lots for homesteads. It looks like someone did build a little homestead out here, over here as well. People also use these lots for grazing. You can see some of the images of the area. It's very close to the Manzano Mountains, as I mentioned. The closest relatively big town is Las Lunas. It's about 30 minutes away. Nice thing about Las Lunas is, according to our research, there does seem to be a lot of economic development going on in Las Lunas. Like Facebook opened a big data center that they're currently expanding. The Las Lunas Boulevard corridor and exchange is being upgraded. They're building a new marketplace. And like I said, Meta's data center, Amazon also built a fulfillment center out here. So fair amount of economic development activity in the bedroom communities of Albuquerque. And it's just kind of like a beautiful area for anyone who likes rural land, very affordably priced, again, under $10,000. And like I said, we do offer owner financing on all the properties that we sell ourselves. This would be one that would be $1 down. Now, we used to have set terms with owner financing, but these days we like to tailor it to the purchaser. So if you're interested in owner financing on any property, all you have to do is reach out to us. Let us know, what kind of down payment and monthly payment you're thinking that would work for your budget. And we can work with you to make a plan that will allow you to purchase property in an affordable way. The other thing I wanted to mention is we do offer a hold option because I know how important it is to do your research before pulling the trigger on any property. So for $40, you can hold the property for 2 days. You can hold it for longer too. It's $40 for every 2 days. But if you click on buy or hold and then click hold, you'll see that you get the option to go for up to 8 days. And if you need, in the event that you need even longer, you can always talk to us about doing extended holds as well. So we offer that option. And I just want to see if there are any questions. So let's see. Question about title insurance. So on some of the properties we did do a title search and do have title insurance. We often note it in the listing, but some of them we don't. However, on all of our properties, we do our own research. We would never buy a property that we find a lien on unless we can resolve the issue ourselves. And in the rare event that we did buy such a property, we would disclose and explain why we thought it was a good purchase. So some properties have title insurance, some don't. If the buyer wanted to get their own title insurance at the time of purchase, that would be a buyer's expense. But like I said, we make sure we do our own research on every property and make sure that we have found no issues before we buy it. Okay. And the other thing, if there are any questions, feel free to ask me. But the other thing I wanted to point out as we're getting to the end of the live stream is for anyone who's thinking about purchasing land and wants some ideas on how you can not just buy land as an asset, but maybe make some money off of it. We do have a free guide, 17 Simple Ways to Generate Income from Land. I'll include the link in the description to all these live streams, but I like to call that out because I think sometimes not everyone thinks about creative ways to use vacant land other than just holding onto it as an investment or building on it. But people do all kinds of things with vacant land. It's really a great flexible resource. All right. So that is it for my agenda. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask me. And for future live streams, if you want to join and just chat with other people who love land, go ahead. My team is always on the chat as well to answer questions if I can't get to them immediately. And I do want to say it's great to see Zaphael, Giselle. I know you've been following me for years, so thank you so much. It's great to see you again. And I will continue these live streams now that my kids are a little older. So I have time to go back to these and connect with everyone. And I'm really excited to do that. So thank you all for joining. And I'll be on at 2 p.m. Eastern tomorrow if anyone wants to join again. Nice to see you all, and we'll continue tomorrow.